What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So as you guys know, the Galaxy Note 10 came out, the Note 10 Plus came out, and a lot of people, including me, weren't really too happy about it. Honestly, I was kind of salty about it, to be honest. And it started making me think about a time where Samsung was really pushing the boundaries. And I think the last time they probably flopped this badly was probably the Galaxy S6. Now, I'm not saying the Note 10 and the Note 10 Plus are horrible phones. I just think they're overpriced and they're kind of missing, and they're kind of a downgrade in some cases too. But I started thinking about which Galaxy could I still use, technically speaking, and probably be content with it. And that specific Galaxy was the Galaxy S8. Now, I would probably be fine with a Galaxy S5 with a custom ROM, but the Galaxy S8, in my opinion, is such a timeless phone. It is so beautiful. It has so much going for it. And I already did a double eye SWI on it, or I think just a SWI. I don't remember what I called it. Basically talking about how the Galaxy S8 is holding up in 2019 and all of that. But without a doubt, the Samsung Galaxy S8 is a solid device. But on top of that, I think it's a timeless piece. I think this phone is still going to be relevant for so long. And I think it really brought a lot to the table, even though it did have some quirks. And I think the main thing that it kind of brought was almost the bezel-less design, but not really. So this was before the iPhone 10. This was before the OnePlus 7 Pro and all these different phones. Even though there were bezel-less phones, technically speaking, before the S8, this one really brought that new kind of design of being somewhat bezel-less, but not really pushing the bezels to the sides of the phones and removing that home button, which a lot of people were upset with, even including me. But the design is one of those things that is still really timeless. I mean, if you show this phone to people, they will still be like, that's a really premium phone. It's still relevant. It doesn't look like a cheap phone, versus if you show them a Galaxy S7, I mean, they'll be able to tell that's an older looking phone because of that home button. The Galaxy S8's design is awesome, and including the build quality, this phone's build quality is killer for what you're getting out. I mean, it has glass on the back, super premium glass on the front, an OLED display, 1440p, such a solid piece of technology. And even looking at a Note 10, I mean, that thing has a 1080p display. Now, granted, maybe that display would be better than the Galaxy S8's, even though it's lower resolution or whatever, but you still know what I mean, the Galaxy S8's display from that long ago, from 2017, is still an awesome piece of screen, in my opinion. And what's even more interesting is that this thing still has One UI. This thing is still being supported by Samsung. It's going to be getting security updates. It's going to be getting a lot of new different type of things and features by Samsung being pushed out, which is so awesome. Another humongous thing to note is that the custom ROM community behind it is also fairly large. Now, it's not the easiest thing to root and custom ROM this thing, but when you're talking about the future of a device, I mean, obviously, eventually, the Galaxy S8 is going to be unsupported. There's no secret about it. But at some point, it will kind of be dragged on by third-party developers, by people who want to see the Galaxy S8 keep improving and keep doing better things. And when I look at something like this, I always am so happy about these third-party developers and these people who are coding new custom ROMs for older device. And the S8 is not that old of a device, and I think it's a super killer feature that this thing is. And what's even more cooler, and the reason that I really like the Galaxy S8 and why it's still so relevant, is because of the price tag. I mean, granted, you can't really buy these brand new right now, but these things are still selling for super cheap for what you're getting in the used market. I mean, I've seen these things go for less than $200. I've seen these go for $150 sometimes. I think I picked mine up for $150 or $145, something around there. Now, granted, there were some kind of weird problems, not huge ones. I mean, screen burn-in is obviously for any OLED device. And there's going to be issues, battery life, this and that. But ultimately, dude, the Galaxy S8 I think is still super relevant. It brings a lot to the table, and I see honestly no reason for, if you have a Galaxy S8 to go and upgrade. It still has the microSD card slot, it still has a fingerprint sensor, it has so much wireless charging that honestly, if you have a Galaxy S8, I would so recommend you to keep it. But on top of that, I think it's a super awesome piece of technology, and that's why I think the Galaxy S8 is still super relevant in 2019. If you have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.